Now on KGW News.
Man, the gun violence, the hate, let's just stop. Stop killing people.
Through the pain, a woman pleads for answers. Her loved one was the most recent victim of gun violence in Portland. Plus,
I would categorize this fire season thus far as historic.
Oregon's top fire officials warn of the dangers still to come in an already rough wildfire season. Then, a cautionary tale from two families stuck waiting for weeks for their movers to deliver their belongings.
It's extremely aggravating. I don't know what to do.
And later, the new recognition that should give Willamette Valley wine a big boost around the world. We begin tonight with breaking news of a water rescue. A father and his daughter were just pulled from the Sandy River near Dabney State Park. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies say a 7-year-old was floating down the river when her raft overturned near the Stark Street Bridge. Her dad went into the water to rescue her, but neither came back up and family couldn't find them. About an hour after they were called, sheriff's deputies found both the dad and child. They did CPR, then both were taken to the hospital. We don't know their conditions at this point. Deputies say neither was wearing life jackets at the time. There is another face to add to the statistics of Portland gun violence. The 51st victim of homicide in the city this year was the father of a young girl. Tonight, her mother is pleading for help to find his killer. Catherine Cook reports.
This is Paige. Paige Marie Dewey, say hi. Hi.
Behind these smiles are grief and pain. 2-year-old Paige doesn't know it yet, but her father, 34-year-old Joseph Joey Dewey, was murdered last weekend. Police say around 6:30 Saturday morning, someone shot and killed Dewey near Northeast 112th and Sandy.
He was a really great father. He really was. Paige was the light of his life, no doubt.
Katie Glover doesn't know who killed her daughter's father, but she believes somebody does.
For anybody trying to protect this person that did it, it's just some kind of evil. I just want justice. I want justice for my little girl, because I'm left here to clean up the mess. I'm left here to tell her when she gets old enough to ask.
Before Dewey's murder, Katie says it had been about 4 months since she'd seen him. They met several years ago through an addiction recovery program, but Dewey struggled.
Just, about a year ago, he left me and Paige when he fell back off into his addiction. And unfortunately, he was battling his demons,
Katie draws part of her strength from memories of when things were good. There were softball games, time together as a family, and hope for the future.
He was an incredible person. And when he left this world, he left, in my perspective, as a shell of who he used to be.
It makes me sad.
Now, a growing memorial marks the spot where Dewey was killed, Portland's 51st homicide of the year.
Man, the gun violence, the hate, let's just stop. Stop killing people.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Now to the latest on the bootleg fire in southern Oregon. It has now burned more than 600 square miles. That's an area twice the size of New York City. But containment is growing a little bit too, now up to 32%. The fire is already the 4th largest in modern Oregon history. It has burned at least 70 homes and thousands more are at risk. Oregon's governor, along with state fire and health officials, spoke today on what they say is already a historic wildfire season.
The future for us for the remainder of the season continues to look above normal dry and above normal temperatures. So this is not going to return to normal anytime soon. So we're facing a long, difficult fire season.
There are currently 9 fires burning across Oregon. Most of the state is in severe to exceptional drought. The governor added roughly 80% of Oregon fires are caused by people. She's asking everyone to be extremely careful. Health officials also addressed concerns over smoky skies. We've been spared in Portland so far, but the smoke from wildfires in the west is actually making it hazy all the way across the country. Cities like Philadelphia and New York woke up to hazy conditions today. Those in really smoky areas have an increased risk of respiratory illness, and state health officials say that could make them more susceptible to viruses like COVID-19. New tonight, moving madness. We're hearing from two different people who hired the same company for cross-country moves, but both are still waiting and now wondering if they'll ever get their belongings back. Our Mike Benner looked into the company's history and found others with the same complaints.
The decision to leave this Hillsborough home and move to Texas was a difficult one for Christina Lyon's mother. Little did the two women know things were about to get a lot more difficult.
Extremely aggravating. I mean, I don't know what to do. I feel like I just want to do something to help.
Lyon says they contacted a brokerage company that contracted out East Freight Logistics to pick up the furniture and everything else. Lyon says the crew showed up on the afternoon of July 4th in an Enterprise rent-a-truck.
And they seemed legit. They wrapped the stuff.
Lyon says it went downhill from there. She was under the impression her mother's things would be delivered to Texas by the end of last week, although it wasn't in writing. When there was no delivery, they contacted East Freight Logistics multiple times, but to no avail. Lyon says she contacted her bank to recall the wire going to the company for the move. Only then, Lyon says, did someone from the company reach out and ask, "Where's the money?"
Then we're asking, where's our stuff and when are we getting it and what's going on? And she said it's somewhere in a warehouse in Portland. And she wouldn't give us any further information.
What makes this so upsetting is that Lyon's mother's things are worth approximately $90,000. In addition to that, there are a lot of sentimental things.
My mom's parents were from Sweden. There's items from Sweden. There's my parents' wedding album. My father passed away years ago, so that's his pictures, everything.
It's been rough.
Mallory O'Donnell can relate to what Lyon and her mother are going through. She too used East Freight Logistics for a move from Portland to Rhode Island back in early June. In fact, she took these photos and video of moving day. It's the last time the veteran saw her stuff, including sentimental things like military coins and plaques from bases, antique furniture from her uncle. O'Donnell says she should have had her things delivered by the end of June, but it still hasn't arrived, and attempts to reach the company have been unsuccessful.
It's stressful too, on top of already having to move across the country. And then I've been feeling like I've been squatting in some random apartment with no furniture.
Yelp reviews of East Freight Logistics tell a very similar story. Customers venting about not receiving their deliveries after 44 days, 76 days, and 81 days. With all of this in mind, we wanted answers. We emailed and called two numbers before getting somebody to pick up. I'm a reporter out in Portland, Oregon. A woman brushed off the bad Yelp reviews, refuted O'Donnell's and Lyon's claims, then told me she couldn't tell me anything else because I was not the client. She said they should try calling again. Right, so I urged them to, immediately. O'Donnell reached somebody and was told her stuff may arrive in another 10 business days. Does she buy that?
Realistically, no. I mean, I know I'm the type of person that won't let it go.
Christina Lyon called too. She says she was told her mother's things will arrive when the truck gets there. Lyon is afraid her mother may never see her belongings again.
I know I pray a lot, and I don't know. Every day I try to think of something new that I could do.
We can tell you that Mallory O'Donnell did file a police report with the Portland Police Bureau, and Christina Lyon did the same with the Hillsborough Police Department. A spokesperson with that department tells me that officers have taken a number of reports like this, and this case specifically will be forwarded to detectives for investigation. Reporting in Portland, I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
Boy, I sure hope they get their belongings, and soon. Still developing tonight, a search party was out looking for a 22-year-old man who disappeared in Clark County. Vladimir Dubrovsky Griswold left his family's home Saturday afternoon and hasn't been seen since. His family says Vladimir is autistic and functions at a 12-year-old level. Vladimir is white, 5'10", with light brown hair and a ponytail. He left his home wearing a blue long-sleeve shirt, jeans, and Danner work boots.
He left. He didn't take any money. He didn't take his cell phone. So he didn't take anything that he would need to survive away from the house.
This is the third time a search party has gone out to look for him in the area around his home. Family members are asking anyone who might see him to call 911. Portland police, meanwhile, are looking for this 21-year-old woman. Mariah Roberts also functions at the level of an adolescent. She was last seen at her Southeast Portland home July 9th. Roberts may have been spotted in Woodburn and Salem and may be headed to Eugene. We're keeping an eye on the COVID situation in Oregon. The state reported 595 newly confirmed cases today, which is the most we've seen in a single day in 2 months. The dotted line on this graph shows the 2-week average, which is starting to tick back upward. On the vaccine rollout, we're now at 71% of adults with at least 1 dose. 65.9% are fully vaccinated.